So you've been out and bought yourself a copy of issue 1 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. You've got your Space Marine miniatures built, you're ready to paint them. But you don't want to paint them blue like they do in the magazine, do you? Nah, you want to paint yours yellow like me. Stay tuned to find out how I do mine.
Space Marines, bum, 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 bum. Wah, 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 wah.
Still there, guys?
Wah, wah, wah,
Great stuff. So, you want to paint your miniatures yellow like I paint mine. These guys, you can see, aren't yellow yet. But what you might want to do, or what you will have to do, is nip out and grab yourself some yellow paint. Now, there's a few ways of getting good yellow coverage on an already blue miniature. And one of them ways isn't getting a little pot of paint and painting directly onto the miniature, unfortunately. Although you can do that with the blue and get away with it, it's a little more difficult than that if you want to paint this yellow. So what I recommend is you get yourself a tin of Games Workshop's Avalanche Sunset spray paint. Now, if you're a younger viewer, you might want to get an adult to help you with this, but you'll need this anyway. If you don't want to use that though, you can get yourself a little pot of Avalanche Sunset and then get yourself a spray primer from somewhere like Halford's. I recommend the red spray primer when painting yellow because you can leave areas of the red showing underneath the model, like under their arms and stuff like that, and it gives you a sort of shadowy effect that I quite like. It gives you a really dirty, shadowy look to the miniature. Something else you might want to pick up, you'll need somewhere to spray your miniatures. Ideally, or definitely, in a well-ventilated area. So a garage with a door wide open, the main door that your car comes in, wide open is great. Or if the weather's alright, like it is today, you can spray outside. Just try and make sure it's not too windy where you're spraying, otherwise the spray might go everywhere. And you can spray it into something like a shoebox. Just place your miniatures in the shoebox, leave a good gap between them so they're not blocking the paint from getting to the other miniatures from when you're spraying from the side of them. Or what I like to do, I've got myself a stick, and what I do, I get the miniature and I get a bit of blue tack on the stick or double-sided sticky tape, and I just press it on there. Now make sure it's on there nice and firm before you start spraying. So that's on there nice and firm. My stick is basically a bit of scrap plasterboard. In the US it's called drywall, but here in the UK it's plasterboard. It's just a long strip of it where you can place your miniatures a good distance apart. So you want about that distance between them. I mean, that's a bit extreme, to be honest. You can go a little bit closer together, but I like a nice big distance between them like that, in order that they're not going to block any of the paint from getting to the other ones. Yeah, you can use an old school ruler if you wanted to, a scrap bit of wood, anything, just that's not going to bend when you're holding it, and that you don't mind getting paint on. So stay tuned and I'll crack on with the painting.
Make sure you follow the instructions on any can of the spray that you end up using. In this clip I'm using the Halford's Red, and just so you're not alarmed, the footage is sped up a fair bit. You'll notice that I'm shaking the can in between each short burst of spray that I do. It's a good habit to get into. It gives you a nice consistent mix of propellant and paint. With the miniatures undercoated in red, I then move on to the Avalanche Sunset spray from Games Workshop, and you'll see that I'm spraying it mainly from above. This helps create that shadowy effect I mentioned earlier in the video, where the red is left exposed in the recesses. You'll have noticed by now me turning the stick around at will. This really displays the advantage of putting your miniatures on a stick before spraying. It really allows you to check every area of the miniature for any areas that you might want to go over again. Also, you'll notice the wall in the background of this shot. I'm a good 2 feet away from that to make sure I don't get any paint on my house.
So that's it. Easy as you like. All you need to know in one handy video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you. Whoa, you flipping numpty! Which way are you putting your bloody finger?
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.